Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Sagittarius April 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of clairvoyant readings and healings for some of you over the course of the last month from different parts of the world, and you know who you are. You've enjoyed it, and it's been good. The healings have been great. Now, if you feel drawn to have a one-on-one clairvoyant psychic reading with me, or to have a healing from me, just check out the information that's in the description box below. It's quite straightforward. Now, let us see what there is in store for the highly talented and attractive Sagittarius. As the subscribers know, I love to see the subscribers each month. Honestly, I really do look forward to seeing you. You're like my extended family, really. Good old, or young, as the case may be, Sagittarius. The highly talented and attractive Sagittarius. Well, it's hard to be humble when you are so great, isn't it? Let's see now. We're going to take 5 cards. This is a Russian deck with unmistakable sort of Russian Orthodox paintings in it. You may have seen it around. I haven't seen it around anywhere, although it is apparently available these days. But I think it's a good deck, and I quite enjoy the artwork on it. It's something which, well, it evokes the spiritual response that I look for in these things. So that's the main thing. But now we're going to take 5 cards, because 5 is all we need, don't we? Because they speak volumes to you and I, and we shall see what there is in store. So let's get it underway. Here is the Page of Cups, the 6 of Coins. See what else there might be. Are you coming? Who are you? 3 of Clubs. Clubs. 3 of Clubs. Just trying to remember what that is. Might be Wands, I think. It doesn't really matter. The suits, in a sense, oh, well, they do matter, the suits. That would be what it is. Let's see what there is. A couple more and then we're done. It's the Hierophant. Yeah, see, there's that really Russian Orthodox sort of look that you'll see in here in just a second. And there finally is the Hanged Man. Well, now why don't we do what we normally do, is ask you to come around here, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Let's have a look first at this Page of Cups, or as I call her, and it is a she, although these of course can be men as well. Court cards, they can be either gender, but I'm going to refer to her as a she for the obvious reason, as you shall see here as she tenderly holds that thing there. I call her the Princess of the Palace of the Floods. Now, esoterically as a page, she is earth, and she's in the suit of water. Now, so she represents the earthy part of water, and in particularly the faculty of crystallization. She represents the power of water to give substance to idea, to support life, and to form the basis of chemical combinations. You need water for that. Now, the character of this princess is infinitely gracious, all sweetness, all voluptuousness, gentleness, kindness, and tenderness. They're in her character. And in some respects, she lives in a world of, as you may do from time to time here, live in a world of romance, I think. Now, there is here almost like the perpetual dream of rapture. Now, there's an emotional freedom for you here, and your jealousy is conquered, and you will have a great trust in yourself. Now, it could also refer to somebody else that you know at this time. And if it is somebody that you know, I've got the feeling of Scorpio, Libra, or also Sagittarius energy also coming around here, I've got to say. But a person who is sweet, gentle, and kind. And she has depth, but is very often lost in romance, and in a sense has her eyes shut to the environment. Now, you may think that such a person is just a dreamer and not engaging in life. But this is a time, I think, when you are able to be and should feel comfortable to be dependent upon other people, because you do give and have always given a lot in return. Now, this is a time where you must trust your feelings and perceptions, but you should know this: you are on the right path. Now, ask yourself, is there anything that is preventing you from being fully free? Because you now have the opportunity to let go of it as well. And imagine that you are surrounded by water and are dancing the dance of salvation and freedom with light flowing movements. And say this to yourself: the more I love myself, the more I can share with others. And then on that top row that's with her is the Lord of material success for you, I'm pleased to say. Now, why do I get this feeling of material success coming through here? I'm just looking at it's got this hanged man underneath it and the Hierophant here. So this is the moon ruling the second decan of Taurus, which is our 1st to the 10th of May. Well, the moon is exalted in Taurus, which is a great sign. But the moon, as you know, has different stages. It has a transient nature. It waxes, it wanes, it disappears. Then there's a new moon, and then it starts its cycle again. Now, the moon likes nurturing and comfort, and Taurus, the fixed sign of Earth, likes food, good wine and drinking, good times, likes to look good, likes good fashion, likes good makeup, likes good hair. It likes a good home around it. And it likes, so the moon and Taurus are really well suited to each other here to bring about material success. So I'm seeing here for you the external manifestation of the inner. There is success here, generosity, and a generosity which is going both ways. You're receiving and giving, and it's important to remember to pay things forward when you do receive things. I get you having something of a financial boost during this period. For those who are interested to try and obtain a grant or a scholarship or know of people doing that, I think that's going to be successful here as well. You know, this is about success, and you will have success in this period. Now, success comes to those who go carefully, step by step. So examine and look at everything carefully. And above all, the beginning and end of an enterprise must be planned and thought out to the last detail. Now, if you think it's too trying and boring to go step by step through each phase of a process, you must, but you must also be open to taking risks. Be open for wonderful surprises and sudden changes or expansion. This demands flexibility and openness to new, unexpected developments. Success also involves strong emotional energy. Only if you are open to the deep dimensions of feeling will you be able to fully enjoy the happiness of success. And of course, with this moon present here, success must grow out of the inner depths and bring something from these depths into view. And success demands effective communication. Ideas must be expressed in ways that touch people and inspire them. And remember that success is achieved through enterprise, through vitality, by having goal-directed energy and endurance, and difficulties must be dealt with and overcome, as you will be able to do so. So I see around here an opportunity perhaps to be involved in a profitable adventure, but it is a reminder for you to remember the successes in your life and to build upon the successes that you have already had. Certainly there is a desire for success for you around, and as I've mentioned, you should be willing to risk, be committed, trust your intuition. Be open to your success. It is no less than a gift you can learn to accept thankfully and humbly. Real success only comes once you have learned to serve. Success under these conditions enriches all levels of your being. Now, what does success mean for you at the moment? Visualize as precisely as possible what your success looks like. Visualize it in detail before you go to sleep. And say to yourself, my acceptance and self-confidence are keys to real success. Now that success is coming about in large part, both to your innate intelligence and vigor, also to this energy here, which is an interesting astrology, but of course it's not coincidental. It is the sun in the second decan of Aries, which is the 31st of March to the 9th of April. This is the Lord of established strength. Now the sun in Aries, well, the sun is also exalted in Aries, and so this placement is very favorable. And Aries enjoys a challenge, doesn't it? And Aries suns are happiest when their lives are moving forward. So it's a time here, I think, for you of virtue, integrity, honesty, self-confidence, and I don't see you making any compromises, you know. It's going to be full steam ahead. Rather, you will have ideas crystallizing, and this is also a confirmation that you are on the right path. Now, it may well be that you are thinking about making a hobby into a business. I do see business activities and things around work expanding. You might be getting more responsibility for things as well. You know, the wisdom within you is strong enough to repel any anxieties and doubts which may arise at this time. Now, you now have the direction. You've been giving it some thought about what direction you want to head into and move along to, and you are now on this right path. So it's a time now of moving forward, of advancing, because you now have that. The sense of the concept now needs to be applied in order for you to be of your best. Now, I think that this is also about looking inside and outside with integrity, honesty, and no compromise. I think it's also saying that maybe you should think about checking the honesty and integrity of somebody else. And I'm just getting a feeling that that somebody else might be an Aries. It is in any event important for you to operate from a place of integrity before making any decisions at the moment, and to have clarity of mind and heart before you bring about any action in order to get the best results. And unless you have clarity, then don't act. But if you do have clarity, now is definitely the time to act. So pay attention to your own point and internal stillness, and center yourself and overcome. And are there any reasons for self-doubt? Do you yet doubt your virtues? And if you are not centered and feel doubts lingering within, then dispel them. And say this to yourself: I have the power and virtue to reflect and to know. Yes, so this dynamism and this action that you're taking, I think there's some time when you might have also be called upon to provide advice to others. I'm just looking at this picture. Do you know, when I was in St. Petersburg once, I went into a museum and I saw a painting of a guy called Saint Duke Vladimir, and this actually may well be him. It certainly reminds me of it. Now, this cross that he's holding in his right hand, that's the Orthodox cross, because the sect of Christianity practiced in Russia, of course, is Russian Orthodox. Now, I call him the Magus of the eternal gods. This is Venus in Taurus with the moon exalted. Now, as we said before, Taurus is an earth sign. And so this emphasizes, I think, in this particular situation, the importance of applying your spiritual realizations in the day-to-day world. As this guy, I think, links the in-between world with that of space and time. It also says to me that this is a time when you should not necessarily, just for this month, don't go upsetting the apple cart, don't go creating any revolutions. Rather, the indication here is for you to just go with the flow, follow the rules and regulations, and even, I'm looking at this as a very traditional thing, go with the traditions in your life, even if you don't necessarily agree with the traditions. I'm thinking that this is a period where, for the benefit of other people, that you almost pretend as if you agree with them and go along with them. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to do that in a bad way, but just to make people happy. This is very good for people who are in large organizations, this energy here, and I'm thinking of hospitals, I'm thinking of schools, I'm thinking of the military, I'm thinking in educational institutions, in large organizations of multinational corporations. I think what this is saying to you also is that you will become something of an advisor to other people. At the moment, I see people coming to you. People coming to you. You always get people coming to you for advice, don't you? And that's because you actually have sensible advice to give, you see. But I think that people are going to be running ideas past you, or even talking about relationships with you, saying, oh, what do you think this means? What do you think that means? And you'll give some good counsel and advice, but don't get sucked into other people's problems here. There is a sense of, very much this sense of giving people advice all around to this. Now, I think that you are going to be very gifted at getting information across to other people and also of inspiring other people. And I think that you are going to find, maybe more so than usual, that you are attracted to sounds. I think that you're going to find the sounds of nature around you very interesting. I think that this is something that you're just going to notice it more than ordinarily that you do. You'll be very good at listening to other people, of understanding different points of view, even if you don't necessarily agree with it, but just getting inside the other person's head to see what it is, why it is that they think the way that they do. And as for yourself, I think what you are going to do, and this is in connection with those other cards to do with success and this Three of Clubs that was there, is of making your ideas tangible, making them usable. You are going to have a desire to be challenged by new experiences. The search for the self for you will lead you possibly into spiritual realms. And I think that you might find that you look at spiritual teachings on YouTube, to be frank. But say this to yourself at this time: I honor the sacred within me. I am inspired by learning and teaching. I am creative and productive in family and professional life. There is, though, only one voice worth listening to, and that is the voice of my own heart. Now, interestingly, we have the Hanged Man here, and it's on the same horizontal line as that Hierophant was. Here we see a guy who is dressed in the traditional Slavic costume, hanging, carefree, hanging from an apple tree, and on the top here is a firebird, which legend has it would come at night and eat apples from the apple orchards. Now, this is the spirit of the mighty waters, and I have an association with Venus here. And there's also an association, interestingly, with Taurus as well, with the material world that's here. I think that this is speaking of the end of a situation or relationship which has become stuck or which has run its course, where you are letting go, where you are finishing something up. You might even be surrendering. You may say that it's pointless going forward with this thing, but you will be looking to see things in a new way now. And there is a necessity for you to break through old behavior patterns. It's almost as if you are experiencing a metamorphosis. You're becoming a different person. You had led a life with, or have led a life which has got certain attributes to it and a way of thinking about things and yourself which had certain qualities to it. But it's almost as if you are the caterpillar, and this is a period that you are wrapping yourself in silk. And from this silken cocoon, you are now going to emerge as the resplendent butterfly. This is also talking about someone who can have a fear of limitations, but you mustn't have that fear of limitations. There's just some words that are coming through now, and it is, you are the sun at the heart of my being. Your word is the shaft which fills me, to which I conform myself, oh, that I might be the still, silent pool that reflects the veil that reveals you. I see this as a time of you giving up the willfulness and frozen ideologies, and this is leading to a far-reaching transformation, breaking through rigid behavior patterns, clearing away old trash, full surrender to the higher self, freedom from narrow-mindedness and dogma. Do you know, if you bow willingly to the cosmic order of the universe, you are able to become one with the flow of the Tao. Not my will, but thy will be done, for thy will is also mine. The great reward for the deep surrender to the Absolute is a 180-degree turn. The world can be seen from a new perspective. And I think that there is the opportunity for you to redeem yourself in a situation that has turned sour. You now have the opportunity to put things right, to bring light into the darkness, as it were, or bringing light onto something, unveiling maybe some secrets, unveiling motives of other people in a way which is going to advance you. I think that this implies, because this Hanged Man has a great watery nature to it as far as I'm concerned this month, it implies that emotions are like water and should flow, and you can have redemption or repair, that is, or a situation that is related, repair of a situation that's related to an emotional event or any transgressions that you have made. Certainly, I think it is time for you to lose emotional ties to guilt from past events. So there's freedom from guilt and blame here. And it could also be the need to give up something lesser for something which is much more fulfilling emotionally, materially, and spiritually. I think it's now possible for you to recognize where you are stuck and in which areas of your life there is congealment rather than the flowing water. There is nothing to do. The mere act of perceiving your reality clearly makes transformation possible. Now, what area of your life are you stuck? Are you ready to recognize and let go of your congealed thoughts and behavior patterns? Say this to yourself: I value breaking ineffective old patterns. I have trust and deep faith in the essence of whom I am. I surrender to the higher path and to God's will. I let go and realize, follow and accept the will of the divine in my life, which reveals itself to me step by step. What a fantastic spread of cards for you. Well done, you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. It really was an interesting reading, and great things are in store for you this month. I found the artwork, did you not, to be quite interesting. It's not the type of thing that you see every day, is it? But anyway, there'll be a different deck for next month. But in the meantime, I want you to remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.